Hey everyone, in this episode, we'll be taking a look at the movie Miss Bala. We'll be exploring the characters, the plot holes, and the realism, all in episode 116 of the Reel-ists Podcast. 18 Reel-ists. I'm Oscar.
I'm Donnie.
And we have our producer here, Ruben, as well. He says hello. He forgot. But yes, welcome to this episode. This episode is going to be on Miss Bala. I said that.
Miss Bala?
Miss Bala. I don't know, but it's like one of those things where I can say it the way it's probably supposed to, but Miss Bala is, the other.
Bala. I don't want to be a Bala. Shakala.
But yes, this is going to be a spoiler discussion, so hopefully you have seen this movie. I know box office wise, not many people have, unfortunately, but.
Dang, you just got to throw that out there, huh?
Look, I'm just going with what the facts tell us. But as always, we're going to go ahead and just start off with quick thoughts from Donnie.
Hey. Take it away, Donnie. Well, guys, listeners, let me tell you my quick thoughts on this one. I did like this movie. I liked the movie. I was a little apprehensive because I feel like, it's not the most original story. It's like one of those movies where it's like, you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time. You get caught up in what's going on.
It is a remake. Is that what you're referring to? Like, not like an original story?
I just when I'm talking about, sorry, when I said in terms of originality, I just mean like how like it's in Mexico, it's about like the drug cartel or related to like drugs and the cartel and everyone's corrupt.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then the fact that like it's like a story where like someone gets caught up in the like wrong place, wrong time.
Right. So if you squint, you might think it's Sicario for a second.
Sure, why not? Yeah, exactly. But I will say, I think it did a good job at keeping me invested for the entirety of the film. Gina Rodriguez, I think she was great. I really like her. I've only seen her in Annihilation, as I told you the other night, and a part of an episode of Jane the Virgin. So I don't have much to like compare it to like other roles she's done, but. She really did it for me. I think she's a really good actress, and I was happy to see, just her acting skills in this film. I thought it was good, and I know it doesn't have it has pretty low ratings, and it's not like going to be like the movie of the year or anything, and maybe it may have disappointed some people, but I personally liked it very much.
Okay. All right. Well, for those that have not heard about this movie, and those living under a rock, as I like to say, it's going to be a trademark for the Reel-ists Podcast. Actually, that's already a trademark expression.
So original. Oscar coined that term.
So Miss Bala is about Gloria, who finds power she never knew she had when she is drawn into a dangerous world of cross-border
Wait, just let me stop you right there. It sounded like this was going to be like a fantasy movie. she discovers she has superpowers or something. Discovered the powers she never knew she had.
IMDb. This is the synopsis from IMDb.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just thought it was funny.
From the top.
One more time.
One more time. So, Gloria finds a power she never knew she had when she is drawn into the dangerous world of cross-border crime. Surviving will require all of her cunning, inventiveness, and strength, based on the Spanish language film. In case you didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But yes, our main star here is Gina Rodriguez. This was directed by Catherine Hardwicke, who was actually the director of Twilight. That's all I know.
Twilight, the first movie Twilight?
Yes, the first Twilight. Just for reference, for those curious.
But she ain't direct the other ones?
She ain't, no.
Okay.
I think she declined it. I think she declined the second one, and that's when they just went with, like...
Oh, okay.
Random.
That makes sense.
Well, not random, but... So, my thoughts about this movie. Very similar to yours. I actually did enjoy the ride that I was on, but that's not to say this was a memorable ride. This one just was exactly what I was expecting. A lot of action, a lot of quoted suspense, and I say quoted because you kind of see it coming. You already know what some plot points are going to be, whether you watch the trailer or whether you just know how standard, movies come in this theme. But yeah, I think Gina Rodriguez really, if anything, proved that she can lead in a movie. Obviously, if she has a different story or a different script or different co-stars, it might elevate it. But in this case, she was able to make it entertaining in the sense that I actually cared for the character as we got deeper and deeper into the story. But overall, I mean, there was just a lot of things that weren't impressions that stuck. It was just a lot of flashes, I guess you would be like the best way to describe it. A lot of flashes of moments that were entertaining, parts that were just like, of course, and parts that were just like, I'm done. Just get a little bit of everything throughout the movie. For
sure.
Overall, though, I will say it's one that if you can watch. I don't think anyone will have a difficulty watching this movie. I just don't know if anyone will be able to want to see this again or find something that really defines the movie for them. You would think like the line that they say in the trailer, like the Bala is the bullet or like whatever, like would be one.
In the end,
but
bullet wins.
Or something like that, and it just didn't stick the landing for that kind of delivery. But it is, it's one that
that brings.
It's like a streaming, I think, kind of. Go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to say before I forget, that does bring me to not a point, but a thought that I had, because I didn't really even think about it much. Like, obviously, the movie's called Miss Bala, the bullet or whatever, Miss Bullet, and that tagline at the end. In the end, the bullet settles everything. I don't know. I feel like I feel like if you're gonna like put a lot of emphasis on that, then maybe there should have been more time devoted
to the
bullet or to the gun more so. I mean, we got a scene where he was showing her how to use the gun,
right?
But I feel like if you're gonna hype it up so much and like that's the center of your film, like the bullet, the gun, then there could have been, I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out there. Maybe they could have thrown a scene in of like a factory in Mexico, like making guns, or they could have opened the film with like how bullets are produced, like or something. I don't know. I'm just giving ideas here, but I feel like they could have emphasized that a little more, showcased that a little more.
Well, I mean, I don't think she ever earned the title. Like, she had one redeeming moment at the end, but I wouldn't call her Miss Bullet.
Miss Bala, yeah.
I'm over here saying in English. But like, I just don't see anything that defined it. I thought from the trailers and from the title was that she was going to do like a 180 twist where she was going to be just like cold, hard killer. Maybe she found out her friend died, so she was like, forget everything, I'm just going to kill. That's my main drive. Because that happens a lot of times in comics, so I'm used to that kind of storyline. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was surprised that she was still herself, and she was really just like, I just want to be out of this situation. I have to fake some stuff, but I don't want to be here. I think that just kind of like prevented it from earning her that title. So it's kind of odd as to why it's called that. Now, I'm assuming that the Spanish language version of it was probably a little bit more intense, maybe. Mm-hmm. Maybe that it wasn't afraid to actually like show like she has to be tough or something. Because this one didn't make it look like she had to be tough. This one just made it look like she had to be smart and fake it until, she was in the clear.
I think what I was expecting too was, since she is Miss Bala, I guess subconsciously I was expecting like in some sense an origin story. Like this is what unfolded and turned her into Miss Bala, and now she goes around killing bad guys and seeking vengeance on those. I don't know. I kind of was thinking, having those kind of thoughts floating in the back of my head. Like maybe this is what these are the events that are gonna turn her and transform her into this ruthless, cold-hearted female assassin or something like that, something along those lines, And
that would have made the most sense. Like that would have been at least like, oh, it's called this movie because she went from like, what was she, a hairstylist, a makeup stylist,
makeup artist,
to being a killer, to being Miss Miss Bala. So I feel like they should have defined that with that title. But then again, I'm just like, well, what would you call this? Like kidnapped? Like I feel like that, like you can't really go with another
Taken.
Right. When in Mexico, I don't know. Like it's just kind of tough to give it another title. I can't think of another one. But it didn't define this character. Like I don't know. I feel like this title would have belonged to like the character from Colombia or something like that. Like,
like Colombiana?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. That's what I meant.
And maybe that's what I was kind of expecting somewhat. I don't know.
Yeah. It was very, very odd. Supporting cast though. What did you think of the supporting cast? Did you believe them? We had an actor that was in it that was from our favorite TV show, so
yeah, we did. He didn't get enough screen time.
It was very minimal. It surprised me. I actually thought he was going to progress more, but what you see in the trailer is actually like 60% of his screen time.
Exactly. So the supporting cast I thought was okay. The actor who played Brian, like I said, he's from one of our favorite shows, but I wish he would have been in it a little more. His death came a little prematurely for me, so that was like, okay, that was one of the things I was a little bummed about. I guess the main guy of this cartel or whatever,
Lino,
Lino, Lino,
yes,
Lino,
played by Ismael Cruz Cordova.
Okay. Lino, he was, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I was waiting for there to kind of be this weird spark between him and Gloria, and like at first he's obviously he's a bad guy, but as the movie progresses, maybe she will start to uncover some like redeeming qualities he may have about himself, and he might begin to soften his heart. And I don't know. I that's kind of what I felt like the direction was gonna go to with those two. Maybe them in a weird way bonding in this whole situation. I don't know, but it kind of didn't really happen. I don't know. I feel like they tried to start it. They tried to plant seeds, but it didn't really happen, and it didn't. I mean, it ended with, spoiler alert, her shooting him because he was gonna shoot her. So it's like. That was that.
So I think this was the movie's attempt to try to do a twist, and I don't think the twist was delivered. And the twist was being that you thought he was actually supposed to have feelings for her, and then he actually was caring for her beyond like, I'm just using her. Mm-hmm. But no, it turns out that she was being used, and she was a setup the entire time, and that he knew where her friend was at. And
right, and that was another thing too, because it seemed like he did find the friend, and she was, unfortunately, the friend was like in a really bad place with bad people. But because in that scene he was like, see, we have the same enemy, and it was basically trying to justify what they do, and what we do isn't so bad, and that's just how it is out here. I felt like he was trying to justify his actions, but then in the end we find out like, he knew exactly where she was, and so that was like, I wasn't thrilled about that.
Yeah, I think the supporting cast it's kind of tough. I mean, because a part of it is a script, and that the script wasn't delivering either. Like there wasn't. I feel like a lot of the things that were happening were not realistic in a way that you actually feared for the character. Like I don't think I actually had a moment where I feared that she wasn't going to make it. It was just too convenient for a lot of things that were happening for her in terms of being able to pass the border without any issues, swapping the chip on the phones and things like that. So I think that's probably where the script struggled with giving us something that really left impression on us. And so with that being said, the supporting cast, they don't have much to work with, and so they're trying to give us reasons to think of the character one way. Am I supposed to make the audience feel like I'm loving her, or am I supposed to give hints that I'm actually still evil? Like it was kind of tricky. So tough task, but yeah, unfortunately the supporting cast was just giving us plot devices where they were serving plot devices more than actual characters, because I don't think I got any like arcs or any kind of development with these. You would think that Lino would be the closest one, but once they revealed that he was always evil, it took away all the small qualities that he was earning.
Yeah, I feel like how they ended his character, I just wish it would have been done differently. Because we were getting, when he took her to that place, like a family gathering thing or something, and he was saying, I grew up here, and he was like, growing, and then we moved back to the States, or we got deported, and I was too white to be Mexican, and too Mexican to be white, or too gringo to be Mexican, too Mexican to be gringo. So it was like, they were giving us all these little tidbits from what I got was to like, so we can really kind of invest a little more in this character. And maybe get a little more on a more personal level with him, or with Gloria as well. But then I just feel like how they ended it kind of just threw all that other stuff out the window.
Exactly. Like,
so
the small developments that we were supposed to be at least, oh, but I understand this character. It's not more of like I hate this character. It's like I get why he's like that, and I don't disagree, to the point where it was just like, well, then why was he going through all this fake little stuff? And, those things that it was just close. It was very close. Like, when he went to go sleep with her, like, he didn't force to have sex with her. He just slept with her, literally, just, like, slept next to her in his clothes. Like, I don't know if that was just a PG-13 rating, but, like, little things that you were like, oh, he's not being as aggressive, or there's some kind of kindness that he has that maybe he just doesn't want to show weakness or something, but nope.
Yeah.
That was not the case. So, do you think that this movie in any way lost its value with that realism gone, with not really like feeling like this is something that would happen to someone, or at least the journey of that kind of luck and convenience?
There was a lot of like just plot convenience and a lot of things that you just kind of throw your hands up and you just take it for what it is, because it's a movie. But it's like she had so many close encounters, so many close calls, and so many things had to go. The fact that she got out of this situation alive, B, unharmed, C, all her no charges dropped, like not having to serve prison time, and D, I forgot what letter I was on, and D, got her friend back alive,
and E, got her delivered to her.
It's like so many things had to go right. So I'm just like, come on, nobody's that lucky especially if you're in this dire of a situation, like literally like life and death, and there's no way.
There is two things that I learned from this movie, though, I will say. One is that now I'm going to test my friends to see if they would be looking for me for all this time.
Hey, she's the most loyal friend I ever saw.
Right. She really was. Like now I'm going to put everyone to the test. I'm going to do a fake kidnapping. Just see how long and before you're just like, you know what? I didn't really know him anyways.
You know what? We weren't even that close of friends. I'm gonna be honest.
And two, I would like to see what kind of request I would be granted by the CIA, because she granted to drop she requested all the charges to be dropped,
mm-hmm.
and the cherry on the top, to drop off her friend in Mexico. She was like, I want to personally drive.
Right, and
Mexico.
that was another thing that took away the sense of realism, because I'm like, I don't understand how much bargaining power she had. I mean, they had her on video, on surveillance, like killing people. So it's like, just that fact alone, they could have easily threw her in prison.
And I just want to know, what did they see that they were just like, she deserves a job with us. She can like, I'm still like, I know she wasn't, the thing was, at the end, she wasn't giving me confidence that she knows how to like deal with these situations and like guns.
Mm-hmm.
She just gave me I'm sick of like being here. Like I'm ready to go home. Like, I'm doing what it takes to go home. I'm done.
Yeah.
That kind of attitude. It wasn't like I'm someone completely new now. Like I'm transformed. Like, I feel like if you take her to Spain and the same situation happened, she's going to go all through those emotions again of, like, freaking out and being, scared and trying to just survive and doing what it takes. I don't feel like she'd be, like, calm and be like, I can fight you, or I know how to shoot you. I don't know. I don't want to miss Bala, too. I don't want us to go to the same scenario. And plus, there's, like, this was in a different country. I mean, personally, I wouldn't have the confidence to just be in a different country and just, remain like I know what I can do, like I know what I'm able to do. I would be freaking out of this.
I mean,
like,
I guess just because she's had some familiarity with the country because she used to visit a lot. So,
but it's different laws, though. It's like you can't.
I mean, maybe she was familiar with them, like a little familiar at least with.
I mean, still, but I that doesn't mean like, but she doesn't have like citizen status, so it can get worse for her for blowing up a car. I mean, I know she was quote unquote like forced to, but it's still her. And all the shootings that she did, at the ending, at the event, yeah, I just feel like it wouldn't be. I just wouldn't think like, oh, it's okay. The U.S. is just gonna come and take me away. I don't know.
You made me remember another
another flaw,
another problem I had with the film when Brian, the DEA agent, kidnapped her off the street and brought her into custody and was like, how long you been working for Lino and his boys, huh? And, we got you. Look, you see this? We got you on camera. We got you on acts of terrorism and this and that. And I'm just like, I felt like they threw a lot of overwhelming evidence at her, and they only acquired this with like in less than 24 hours. Like, I don't know. The way they came at her made it seem like they had been trailing her for like the last several months, and like they got her doing this and doing that. If I was her, I would have been like, sir, this all happened in less than a day, right? Okay, let me tell you why. I mean, yeah, I know the chances of them believing her, obviously she's going to try to plead a case and not be guilty. Right. But I would have been like, they kidnapped me. It frustrates me. and then he was such a jerk, and he was like, you're gonna, you're gonna be a mole. You're gonna, get us information we need. And she did. And he was, he was like, this is frustrating me. I can't even get my words out. He was just I knew he was gonna like leave her out to dry, basically. Because he was like, you do this, and we'll help you out, and blah blah blah. We got your back. And then when push comes to shove, and she holds up her end of the bargain, and then she's like, where's the van you said that was gonna be here to get me? And he's like, you're on your own, Gloria. I was like, you mother lover.
Yeah, that was like, that definitely sealed the you can die. Okay, you can die now.
And it too. It definitely. So what I thought from what I got from the trailer was that the entirety of the film, or at least like 90% of the movie, she was going to be playing both sides. Like she was going to be the mole for the DEA and the
right. So
but she was going to be playing the part and still doing the things that the Lino and his boys were making her do. After he was like, you're on your own, then that whole thing just went out the window, and then it's like, okay, so she ain't got to worry about playing, double crossing or playing both sides. She just got to worry about surviving with Lino.
Yes.
So that was another thing that kind of grinded my gears.
Well, was there anything that was music to your ears? Was it just every time Gina Rodriguez was on screen that you were just like, all right?
She was just really, I just feel like she was really captivating. I feel like she just brought a lot of emotion to the role, and it was believable. It wasn't like, to me, it wasn't like she was overacting or over dramatic. All her responses and reactions felt natural. And her trying to be as calm and to think straight and with clarity in this crazy freaking mess that she's got herself wrapped up into. There was just a sense of sincerity that I got, and she really was just she really just had me through the whole film, you know, from all of her scenes. I mean, you know, from her when, like in the beginning of the film when she first saw her friend and she was like happy and giddy and they were having fun, you know, to her dramatic scenes where she's like, she thinks she's gonna get shot, you know, walking outside, so she's like, you know, crying but trying to hold it together. Like, it all worked for me. So she was just a delight to watch on screen, on the big screen, and I hope that she gets more leading roles because I think she's amazing. But I mean, obviously, I was happy that, you know, she got out safe and she got her friend back, and the little boy, Zuzu's little brother, wasn't hurt, and you know, that was great to see. But yeah, it was interesting.
Okay.
I'm trying to. I don't know that I have like a standout scene. I mean, it's not because I loved it, but the scene when they killed that girl. Because she switched the chips in the phones, and she didn't know she didn't know she put the chip in that poor girl's phone. So when the guys found out about it, they killed her. That was like I really felt bad. Like it really stirred some emotion in me, and she was so heartbroken by it too because she knows she did that.
Yeah,
she didn't mean to, but that's what happened. So that was probably one of the more memorable scenes for me.
I'm trying to just think of, while watching it, what moments that I was just like, I just want to see this play out, rather than being like, oh, of course she's going to do that, or why would you do that, you know, where you judge it. And I will say that the moment that kind of was the more of like, I want to see how this plays out, was when she was returning with the truck after going to San Diego and dropping off the money, and that they were shipping, and she was returning back with guns. I think that entire sequence was interesting because she made a clever move and stopped by to get a new phone, so that way she can contact the DEA, and then you delivered it, and you know she's doing her part, and you know it looks like it's like, okay, we're gonna be in the clear, and then it goes south, and in which case she finds out that they weren't gonna actually help her. So all that you explained, I think that entire sequence was more of like the most entertaining for me. That was just like, I just want to see how this plays out. I'm not focused on plot points or plot holes. I'm just enjoying what's happening. But, yeah. I mean, I agree with you though. I think Gina Rodriguez was able to make this movie at least enjoyable for what we're given. Of course, we're not giving anything, you know, new or original in that sense, but it's kind of, you know, it's the same things that we, you know, when we expect some things but we still are okay with it. It was kind of like that. She was making it to that level where it's like, I know this movie's going to be predictable and I know what the plot points are going to be, but I'm still enjoying it. She was able to at least bring it close to that level where it's just like, she's making me entertained and making me interested in who she is in this movie.
Right.
So
exactly.
With all that being said here, it is time for our final real score. So, Donnie, what is your score?
I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5 reels.
In Spanish. Just kidding.
3 estrellas.
There you go. Do you know how to say reels, Ruben? Like, is there even a Spanish word for reels?
Yeah, like, what would be the...
You said 3 stars, but...
Oh, yeah.
It's okay.
We don't do stars, we do reels.
Caretes.
Tres carretes.
There you go.
Because, yeah, I mean, I said a lot of my reasons already. 3, Gina Rodriguez was great. She sizzled. She soared. But there was a lot of plot convenience and, you know, like we said, maybe it was the script or not, about a lot of the... I don't know. A lot of the supporting cast was just kind of like one-sided. Some of them even just kind of cliche. Like even like Lino's like that one guy, the really aggressive guy, who was the one that found the chip or who had to look through all the phones. Like he was like
Pollo or Polo or something like that.
Something like that. He was just like a kind of cliche character, like rough,
a cliche,
like
right hand man. Yeah.
Yeah. Even the way he like would grab his girl and like, you know, like nudge her and like shove her in the room, like just. I'm like, come on, let's get a little more layered than this,
right?
You know, and the DEA agent Brian, he just was only using her just so he can try to get what he needed.
Go back to boxing, Brian.
Right. Go back to Venice. But, what else? It was a fun film. It was a fun ride. My expectations were a little different than as to what I was going to get, but that wasn't necessarily a bad thing, just different. But it was a fun film. And I think if you see it, you're not going to be bored. You're going to be, I think it's worth watching. You're going to be interested, and you're going to want to see how it plays out and how this poor girl is going to get out of the situation, and how and if she's going to find her friend. And stay tuned.
She's going to show you how you really are going to be a true friend.
Yeah, she's going to teach you some lessons about friendship and what it means to be loyal.
Right.
That's for sure.
Right.
So, yeah, I give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay. I am on the same page with you on this one. And I will credit this being higher than I want to give it. I was thinking of a 2.5. But I will say I really did enjoy Gina Rodriguez's performance. I feel like just don't look at the box office numbers, studios. Like, just look at her performance.
Don't look at the Rotten Tomatoes scores.
Don't look at those little minor factors that are made by people. Look at people's wallets. All right, no, not the wallets. Because the box office. Bad. Look at people. Look at her own performance for what she did. That was funny. I try to get away from that, and I put it back into
people's wallets. What's in your wallet?
No, but I really will say, like, she made it more entertaining that I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 instead of a 2.5. Because yeah, I mean, I totally believed in her moments. I totally believe that she was, angry at some times, or she was scared, or she was trying to, be relaxed, like, especially when she was letting Suzu's little brother be like, no, we're fine, we're just gonna be home late. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of those little moments she was able to still deliver, and it to an extent, I don't believe in the situation, but I believe in her reactions, and that's a great thing that she did, and she deserves another lead role, or even a supporting role, but she deserves another role in a movie. Hopefully she doesn't get thrown into the TV universe only and sticks to TV movies and shows.
Yeah, I would hope not.
But
she was great in Annihilation.
Yeah.
I mean, she was great in Annihilation.
That looked more like Miss Bala.
Yeah, no, that was...
she looks
seriously.
Like. But no, yeah, so I definitely I enjoyed it. And as you said it, I wasn't bored. I wasn't just like, all right, I'm done completely. There was moments where I was just like, oh, come on, let's just keep going. Mm-hmm. Let's not try to delve too much. Like when they were teaching, what was it like? He was teaching her how to shoot a gun, but it was just like around right before that scene where they were just slowly like trying to add to stuff, and there was not much they were adding. Like when they went to go eat food at the family, I'm assuming a family member's house. Mm-hmm. But yeah, things like that was just like, all right. But no, overall, I still was just able to enjoy it, and I think it's worth watching, not necessarily in theaters, but maybe at home on iTunes when it comes out, or I'm assuming it's gonna go on Netflix. What doesn't go on Netflix these days? Yeah. So
I could see like people are like, "Hey guys, what are we gonna watch for our next movie night?" Like at my house, and somebody's like, "Oh my God, let's watch Miss Bala." I think that's like a great movie night.
I would hate for that person to be overhyped on that movie, but
I can't wait to see. I've been waiting for this movie to come out.
Like, why did you see it in theaters? But yeah, no, that would be. I could see that scenario though. Yeah, it was just like, oh, Gina Rodriguez, I love Jane the Virgin.
Yeah,
yeah.
I actually, one of my coworkers, I told her that we went and saw this movie, and she was like, "Oh, how was it?" Because I've been wanting to see it. I watch Jane the Virgin all the time. I've been wanting to see it. That's exactly what she said.
There you go.
I was like, so if you're a Jane the Virgin fan, then
check it out. Go support her.
Yeah, go support your girl.
All right, making her look bad. Can't even get into the top 2 box office for a new release.
What was it?
Number 3.
Oh.
It was, and I made it sound more dramatic. It was Glass at number 1, and then it was The Upside at number 2, followed by Miss Bala, followed by Aquaman. Damn. And I forgot what the 5th one was.
Aquaman's still holding on strong in the top 5.
Yeah, it became the highest DC movie, so it surpassed The Dark Knight Rises.
Dang.
And that's your box office report, everyone.
Seriously. We're going to do that segment every episode
Right.
now.
New year, new segment. But no, yeah. Hopefully everyone gets a chance to see this movie at some point down the road. I don't know if it's one that people are going to see in theaters, but it's definitely worth checking out if you have some free time. But let us know what you think in the comments. I'm going to say comments down below. Sorry, I might switch to
Not
YouTube.
a YouTube video.
If you're listening to this on YouTube, though, you can. But definitely leave us your comments on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Team Realists. That's Team REELISTS, no dash. And hopefully you enjoyed this episode. And thank you again for tuning in. Until next time.
See you, everyone.